Twice a year, I pressure wash this concrete alley. It's a tedious and time-consuming job, covering about 25 to 30 concrete panels. And I do it not because I want to, but because I have to. You see, letting moss, mildew, and mold grow unchecked on this path presents safety and health risks to anyone passing by. To illustrate, here's the difference between a clean, gray concrete panel and an unclean, greenish-black one. If I twist my foot on the clean one, I can really feel the grip of my rubber slipper against the concrete. However, when I do the exact same thing on the unclean panel, my slipper easily slips. There's simply very little traction. Also, if I start to clean a single section, I need to clean all the sections because if an unsuspecting person transitions from one to the other, it becomes even more dangerous. Now that I've explained the why, let me show you the how. On average, it will take about 7 to 8 hours to completely clean the entire length of this concrete alley. And not surprisingly, it will give us aching muscles and joints at the end of it all. Just imagine what standing for 8 hours while gripping a vibrating pressure washer wand would do to your entire body. This video will show you my best practices and tips to pressure wash faster, safer, and easier. Let's begin. Number 1. Wear rubber slippers. Don't kid yourself that you won't get wet handling a pressure washer, because you will. And the first to get splashed on will always be your feet and legs, especially when you are washing the ground or the floor. Rubber slippers prevent water from collecting on and around your feet, keeping them light. I've seen others wearing rubber shoes with socks instead, but when they get soaking wet, it would become very uncomfortable doing the job for hours. And you'll even tire easily because you will have heavy feet. Also, it goes without saying not to wear long pants or jeans. Instead, wear shorts made of light fabric. Number 2. Adjust water pressure accordingly. Most residential pressure washers today come with a variable spray nozzle. 0 degrees gives you the most powerful pressure but the least coverage, while the widest angle gives you the weakest pressure but the most coverage. For a job like this, what I like to do is find the sweet spot between pressure and coverage to wipe out the moss, mold, and mildew in the least amount of time. Also remember that too strong a pressure might actually damage the surface you are cleaning, like washing off paint, while too weak a pressure might not give you the cleaning power you are aiming for. So adjust your pressure to find that appropriate balance. Number 3. Keep connections straight and dry as possible. This means making sure that there are no kinks on your hoses and no tangles along your power cords. Besides preventing you and other people from tripping over them, this also ensures that water can flow freely from your water source to the pressure washer unit and all the way to the tip of the spray nozzle, thereby maximizing pressure. This also means fixing leaks caused by loose connections or worn-out parts that degrade the performance of your machine. The only space where water should be coming out is from the tip of your spray nozzle. By the way, if by any chance your pressure washer wand is leaking, I do have another video on how to fix this. Check out the link on the upper right, or if you don't see it, look for the links in the description below. Number 4. Wear gloves. Handling a pressure washer wand for an extended period of time can cause massive strain on your hands and wrists, especially the one that's constantly gripping the handle and pressing the trigger. And this strain is amplified by the sheer force of pressurized water coursing through the wand. The more pressure, the more vibration. And the more vibration, the more strain on your hands. As such, wearing gloves dampens the vibration, gives you better grip on the handle, and essentially protects your hands from strain. Number 5. Wash from top to bottom. If you are washing a surface that's on an angle or incline, always start from the highest point, working yourself downwards. Because of gravity, water will always flow down. So whatever dirt or particles you have removed from a surface will be washed away by water and not contaminate the area that you've already cleaned. This prevents you from needlessly backtracking. Likewise, the same principle applies to cleaning concrete steps. Start at the topmost step and work towards the bottom. Number 6. Mind your posture. If the goal is enabling you to pressure wash for long periods of time, then the way you carry yourself will dictate your endurance. It will spell the difference between lasting for several hours or already quitting in just a few minutes. I know this will sound counterintuitive, but do not stand straight. Instead, spread your feet apart at a distance equal to the width of your shoulders and slightly bend your knees. This will improve your balance and stability. Keep the nozzle along with the spot you are cleaning aligned with the center of your body. This means constantly moving and adjusting your footing so that the spot you are cleaning is in the general area between your feet. This approach prevents you from hyperextending to your sides and thus minimizes strain on your back and torso. Number 7. Swivel up and down or diagonally. If the water ejected from the nozzle has a horizontal pattern, then the most effective motion is to swivel the wand up and down or diagonally. Imagine the water spray like a paintbrush. You'll get optimal results if you use the right stroke. Also, at the downward stroke, stop about 6 to 8 inches from the tip of your toes. This creates an optimal angle for water pressure and at the same time prevents you from accidentally injuring your feet. Trust me, you do not want that highly pressurized water hitting your feet. Number 8. Take a break. Just because it may be an 8-hour job doesn't mean you have to work for 8 hours straight. Rest for 5 minutes every once in a while, especially when you are starting to feel fatigued. This also gives time for the pressure washer motor to cool down. Remember, any machine that's run continuously for several hours will tend to break down faster. And this applies to both the pressure washer and your own body. Take a quick break now by subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell icon so you don't miss other home DIY projects I regularly publish. Number 9. Clean the periphery. While pressure washers do a great job removing stubborn particles from most surfaces, they tend to spread those particles in many directions where you don't intend them to go. So after finishing the main job, don't forget the areas or objects that will have been covered with stuff. In the case of this concrete pathway, I reduce the pressure a bit and take a few minutes washing down objects in the periphery such as our exterior wall, AC outdoor unit, this self-watering planter box, our kids' swing set, the leaves of surrounding plants, and even this outdoor concrete table and seats. Number 10. Clean yourself. At the end of the job, you'll likely be covered with moss, mud, and slime, especially your legs and feet. What I like to do is set the nozzle to the weakest pressure and wash my lower torso. I accomplish this by pointing the nozzle at least a foot away and letting the outer edge of the water fan skim my skin and even my slippers. This is a faster way to get heavy particles off before going inside the house and taking a proper shower. However, do not do this if the pressure is still too strong for you, even after adjusting to the weakest setting. Pressure washing can be one of the most effective and satisfying cleaning methods out there. You see results immediately in a short amount of time, with relatively less effort compared to manual washing and scrubbing. Also, it's chemical-free. But it can get daunting with massive cleaning jobs like this. I hope some, if not all of the tips I shared in this video would be useful for you. This is HanDIYman 007. Thanks for watching, and you can do this.